Does that headshot? I don't think that should have counted as a headshot. I'll take it. That sucked to get like barely domed like that. Do I charge? Do I not? I guess I'll talk about a book I listened to. At least 3 times. At least 3. Probably 5 by now. It's a really good book. It's an audiobook and it's free. You can listen to it on Spotify. This is not sponsored. I think it came out in like it came out sometime in the 19 somethings. It's called One Up. Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, I think it's called One Up Wall Street or something like that. I'll put the exact name in the description unless I forget. It's like, yeah, One Up on Wall Street, and it's by Peter Lynch, and it's an audio recording of him explaining to you how the stock market works and how you can earn money in it. And it's very good, I think. And he has another book. If he has another book that's on YouTube, Spotify, called Learn to Earn. It's a really good book as well. That one focuses more on history and then stock picking though. But they're both really good to listen to. Another free book you can listen to is The Alchemist. It's really good. It's really good, really short read or listen. I do recommend it. I'll talk to you a little bit about One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch, and these ideas kind of come from him. And he basically, what he proposes is that stock picking is more of an art than any kind of technical skill. It's not like algebra or calculus. It's more of an art, right? It's more of a feeling based kind of thing rather than a logical based kind of thing. If that makes sense. In other words, I believe he said that you need to focus more on the stomach. The stock market is kind of more of a stomach kind of organ. You need to have a good stomach more than a good brain when it comes to the stock market. Because actually, funnily enough, the best thing to do is usually the dumbest thing to do. So it's more of a feeling rather than a technical thing. That's what he says. Or at least it's an art, should I say. Now, he basically wants to convince you of one thing in the book. I believe he says it. He says, if he can convince you that a market ought to be irrelevant, then he feels like this recording has done enough, or something to that degree. Basically, I'll sum up what he was saying. I'll sum up his philosophy, and I do follow it. I do follow his philosophy and his teachings when it comes to the stock market. First of all, I'll just put it. Every company has a story, and you have to understand the story and believe in it in order for you to If you're going to pick a company, it has to have a good story and a believable one, right? Like, okay, Microsoft, right? Everyone knows about Microsoft. But should I invest in Microsoft? Should I, personally? Is Microsoft a good company? I'm sure it is. I don't understand how they make money. I don't understand everything Microsoft does. I really don't. I don't know too much about software and hardware. I don't, right? I really can't understand it. And that's important. That's really important that you have to understand the company, right? I don't understand Microsoft, so I don't worry about Microsoft. I'll find some other company that I can understand, and that's simple, right? Now, the reason why believing in the company that you pick is so important is because people that go into stocks that don't have any belief or knowledge of what they're doing, they're going to, when the stock goes down, what do? Honestly, let's say you buy 10 shares of Microsoft at $250. Let's say it goes down to $220. What do? Do you sell? Do you buy more, or do you just do nothing? Which one? It's a good question. What do? Honestly, you should know. A lot of people that are new to stocks, when the stock price goes down, they're gonna sell. They're gonna be like, oh man, I've lost this much money. I need to sell right now, right? Because I don't want to lose more. And they fall into the trap when they've done that. Because as soon as you sell right there, you fall into the trap if you try to time the market. Right? Think about it. It's a good question. Like, if you invest in a company and the stock price goes down, what do? A lot of people don't know the answer to this because they don't think about that. They just hope it's gonna go up, and then when it doesn't, they sell. And another important thing to know, and this is all Peter. This is I'm paraphrasing Peter Lynch, and I'm interpreting and paraphrasing Peter Lynch. So I just want to make sure I'm not trying to claim this as my own logic. It's borrowed logic, if anything. But yeah, timing the market. Timing the market is basically saying, I'm gonna buy here and sell now, right? I'm gonna buy today and sell in 5 hours, or sell in 1 day. What stocks do over the period of even like 5 years is unknown. To a long, like, okay, companies like Coke over like 10 years, sure, they're gonna be up. Over 5 and 3 years, you really don't know. You really don't know. And so timing the market, people for all of history have been trying to figure out how to time the market, when to buy and when to sell in a short time frame. No one has figured it out, and if they would have figured it out, a lot of people would be billionaires, probably trillionaires, but no one is, because no one can do it. And there's a reason why no one can do it. It's either impossible or very difficult. And if it's very difficult and impossible, we're not going to worry about it. We're gonna pick stocks another way, right? And so when you buy Microsoft at 250 and it goes down to 220, like, it's a good question. What do? What did you expect to happen? Because I went to stocks as well, and I bought some shares and it went down. I got scared and I sold them, right? Because I actually didn't know. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't even think to myself, what am I going to do when this thing goes down, right? What am I going to do? And I was trying to time the market unknowingly. That's what I was trying to do. And so it is imperative that you understand the story and believe in it. He kept saying this, and I realized why it mattered so much. It's because he would keep proposing the question of, what do you do when it goes down? And if you believe and know the story of the company, when it goes down, you know what to do. I'll give you an example. I own some shares of a company, right? I won't say what it is because, well, that would be dumb, right? I own shares of a company. Let's call it. I own shares of company A, right? Company A, went down in the price. Like, it went down by probably at least 20%, 25%. It went down. I was losing money. But Peter Lynch says, this is something that escaped me for some reason. You only lose money in stocks if you sell when the price goes down. As long as you don't sell the stock when it goes down, you don't lose any money. I think someone, yeah, see this. As long as you don't sell a stock when the price goes down, you don't lose any money. It sounds so simple, but it's equally true. And so company A, which I own some shares in, right? I understand what they do, and I understand, and I believe in their company. I believe their company is going to do well in the future. I believe in them. Because I believe and understand what the company does, that gives me assurance. That gives me assurance to not fall into the trap of trying to time the market, right? Because I know what to do when the stock goes down. I know what to do. When the stock goes down, am I going to sell? No. Because I believe in this company, and I know that. And we can tie this back into Warren Buffett's belief system. Basically, if you believe in a... Oh, that was horrible. He strafed to the right there. Basically, if you believe in a company, do you know... Basically, Warren Buffett has this thing called... I guess maybe even be better to... Yeah, I died there. I was going to most likely die. Warren Buffett was one of the greatest investors, and he has a system, and I should probably maybe it comes from Benjamin Graham, but I'll say Warren Buffett because he uses it too, at least. Warren Buffett has this thing called intrinsic and extrinsic value, right? And so what does that mean? Companies are worth something, and companies are worth what they're shown. So like say Coke sells for $60. Its intrinsic value may be 80, but it's selling for 60, right? And so in truth, what you should do is buy companies that have have a higher intrinsic value than the extrinsic value. But how do you know what the intrinsic value is? Well, a lot of people have been trying to figure that out, and some people have figured out ways, but a really simple way to do it is one based on belief. So I believe in company A, which means I believe its intrinsic value is higher than its extrinsic value, right? I believe this company is worth more than it's selling for. Way more. And I understand it. And because of that, when it goes down, I won't sell it. Because I know I have a belief in this company. I have a belief in the company that's going to do well. And I understand it. Understanding it allows you to be assured and be confident and not be scared. And belief allows you to not sell. And so what the market does on day to day, I don't care. The only time I will sell that company, the company's I own shares in, is when either when I pretty much it's when you stop believing in the story, or when you lose confidence to buy any more shares, right? So let's say the company story, company A story, right? Let's say it declines, right? Let's say they're doing something a bit differently, and they strayed from what made me believe in them in the first place. To stop selling something, for instance, I would sell immediately because I can't believe in them anymore. Alternatively, if I can no longer confidently buy more shares in the company, I should sell right away. Because think about it, it's actually really interesting. I think Microsoft, you buy Microsoft at 250, it goes down to 220. If you go, well, I'm gonna sell Microsoft when it goes back to 250. Do you know what's really interesting about saying that to yourself? If you believe Microsoft will go back to 250, shouldn't you buy more shares at 220? You believe the stock price is gonna go up by $30. Like, confidently you believe that. So why shouldn't you buy more shares? But you don't, because you're scared. You're scared that Microsoft, well, you don't actually believe Microsoft will go back up to 250. If you did, you would buy more shares at a lower price because you know it's going back up to 250. The thing is, you don't know. You don't know it's going to go. You don't actually have confidence it's going to go back up to 250. So in truth, you should sell right there. As soon as you are not confident to buy more shares, like if you think about it, if you're not confident to buy more shares, you believe its intrinsic value. You believe its extrinsic value. Or rather, you don't believe in its intrinsic value more. Like you're not willing to pay. If you're not willing to pay more for the same company, you should sell. Like if company A sells for $10 and I buy it because I believe in it, and it goes $20, I buy even more. $30, I buy even more. As soon as if it goes to $60, I'm like, I don't know if I should buy more. I should sell everything I had. Right? Basically, and I'll kind of sum up everything. Believe in a company and you understand it. The market ought to be relevant. You do not care what's happening. You do not care what's happening on a day-to-day. You don't care what's happening in Japan. You don't care what's happening in Canada. You don't care what's happening in the United States. It doesn't concern you. Because you're like, okay, for example, Peter Lynch uses his example of Taco Bell. He understood Taco Bell, and he understood Taco Bell, and he believed in it. Right? And so, for example, no matter what war is going on, no matter what's happening in Japan or Korean or what's happening with imports, exports, tariffs, it really doesn't affect Taco Bell if you think about it. It really ought to be irrelevant what's happening in the world. So whatever happens, it's really good for your mental health as well if you think about it. But the economy and the market ought to be relevant. If you believe in the company and understand it, you will have the faith and belief and confidence that this company is worth more than selling for. And no matter what happens, it should not matter to you because you know this company is worth far more than what's selling at. How can you figure out the intrinsic value of a company? There are probably some ways to do it, but one way Peter Lynch says to do it is to find a company you believe in. You may not know the specific number, but you know the intrinsic value is higher than the extrinsic one. And since I have used his philosophy, I have done much better in the market. Much better, like exceedingly better. Better than when I first started. It's so much better. Because if I don't understand it, if it's not simple enough to understand, and I can't believe in it, I don't worry about it. And so when the shares in company A go down, I don't care. Not one bit. Doesn't bother me at all. I just check it for fun. I could just leave it alone, not check it at all. And you get some food. And it's very fascinating. It really is. I can't let go of Nara, unfortunately. And I can't catch him. He's faster than I. I'm not sure I gave this town to. Yeah, and so if I understand a company and I can't believe in it, I don't worry about it. I don't care what's happening in the news. It doesn't affect me at all. And that reminds me, a bio